management, it's all about the execution kagad. Right? Sometimes we get to think that, na parang hindi. These are the things that's going to benefit everybody. Let's execute. Okay, we forget the part wherein we need to assign people in order to support and help them out in transitioning into that new change. Okay, so we're going to focus more on that. Now, we're going to talk about this is going to be very heavily focused on the people side of change. And what that means is that, because change management addresses the people side of change, it's actually the people that we have to think about more. Okay. Of course, the strategies that we need to take, we have to consider a whole lot of things that we need to consider, but mostly it's people that we have to think about. Okay. When there's a change that's coming, dapat our way of thinking would be always in support or to help them out in transitioning into the new things that they will be doing. So yan yung mga pagdidiscusan natin next. Let me just read this real quick. It's creating a new organization, designing new work processes, implementing new technologies, may never see their full potential if you don't bring your people along. Exactly, just like how we saw it in the video earlier, if your team is full of hems, we won't be able to move forward. Now, same deal din naman if your team is full of sniffs and scurries, just like what we saw from the videos, diba? The change will happen immediately. Walang magko-contest. And if you remember from the video, it crumbles immediately. Kasi what happens there is yung change nga happens too rapidly, and they don't even think about what other items should not be changing. Diba kanina, again, from the video, we learned that not all change is necessary. So we're gonna have to ground ourselves as well and figure out ano ba yung kailangan natin talagang paltan. Because if something works, and that's basically where a whole lot of us are, if something works, we stick with it and stay with it. However, our ideas behind it should be, if it can be better or if it can be improved, what can be done? Okay? Palaging ganun dapat yung iniisip natin. Maybe, again, think about the possibility of not having it change, but if it does, what's the benefit? What's the risk if we don't change? Yan palagi yung mga tinatanong dapat natin. Going back here, that's because success depends on how thoroughly individuals in the organization embraces the change. Correct. Again, without these people agreeing with you or understanding what the changes are, nothing's going to happen. They're going to stay where they are at. If you remember him, he stayed in cheese station C because there's comfort there, and pag nung nawala na yung cheese, he never moved. So nothing happened. It's very frustrating as well for people like Ho to encourage them. No, you're gonna have to parang go and venture out, diba? And again, what he realized was that it has to come from within. So how do we let our guys, the hems of the team, let them realize it for themselves? And that's what we're going to talk about in the next few slides to come. All right, let's continue. Change management is the application of a structured process. So from the earlier answers from the worksheet, no, it's a process. These are steps that we need to take. And that's right. It's a set of tools for leading the people side of change to achieve a desired outcome. What are the steps that you're going to take in order for you to be prepared to take that change in? Ultimately, change management focuses on how to help people engage, adopt, and use a change in their day-to-day work. Paano nga natin sila susuportahan? Okay? Now, more on the people side of change, let's talk about the different types of people during the change implementation. So I already mentioned your resistors earlier. Okay? What do you think the other two pictures are? Siyempre, yung resistors would be the one on the lower left, no? Yung nag-aaway sila. How about the kind of like the Superman guy and the guy who has left and right arrows? What do you think they are? What roles do they play in change?
They just resist.
So, which ones? Sorry. The guy with the cape or
The guy
the
with
guy
the
with
cape is just fleeing, and it basically is just fleeing from a situation, not accepting anything. The other one is a violent reaction to change.
actually the change? Okay. Sige. And how about the guy who's confused?
Confused.
Confused
He,
lang.
he doesn't really know if he's going to just stay as is or accept the change, or which
Okay.
way he's gonna go.
Okay, ayan, good. Sige. So again, let's label these guys, okay? So we're going to name three of them. And so this guy, so again, initially, parang paalis siya, no, sa change. He's flying away. But these are your change agents. These are your champions. These are the people who are in alignment with you, who agree with the change. No, these are the people for change. Okay, so let's read it real quick lang. Support new ways of thinking and see opportunities in change for themselves and the organizations. They're the ones who are looking forward to this. Okay? Sila yung supporters nyo in your change. They volunteer, take charge, they voice excitement, they bring energy to the team, they understand the sense of urgency. Okay, hindi kailangan na mangyari to. Let's work on this. Okay, these are your cheerleaders basically. These are your change agents. How can you engage supporters in the change? Put them in charge, give them responsibilities, really capitalizing on their impact to the rest of the team. Now, I want to hear from you. What do you think you can do, as the leaders to engage the supporters? So let me read from some of your answers here. Sir Adam said, always acknowledge their effort, even how simple, and recognize, even though it's simple. Yan, tama. Recognize their good ideas, suggestions during meetings and casual discussions. Make them feel that you accepted their idea. Actually, you don't necessarily have to do that anymore because they already have. That's why they're more of a positive agent when it comes to the change management. So parang they're already sold to what you are trying to do or what the organization is trying to do. No, so those are our change agents. Doc Mac naman, first, walk the talk. They will engage if you, as a supervisor, nakita nila, then ask them to participate or be part of the decision. Okay. So, parang being a good, parang example for these guys. Now, again, just remind you, these supporters, okay, of change, they're already in it. They were already sold because and very big possibility of your leadership. They trust that you have a good vision for them, and that's why they're all in for it as well. Okay, Jingle, let them know the need for change, and so they know that, inspire and influence them to adapt. They have that innately, and sustain the change and communicate. Yes, dapat talagang communicate all the time. Jing naman said, provide positive reinforcement and more opportunities to participate in changes. Support them, don't clip their wings. Yes. Volunteer them in tasks. Yeah, okay, good. Kind of like what we have read, no? The way we do it is that you give them positions and you give them tasks, you give them leadership positions, you expose them on it. And lead by example, help them understand. Okay, asking them to lead the team as a spokesperson for change. And Alan said, meet them, tell them that they are really needed, acknowledge their effort, and if possible, reward them. Yes. Parang something good that will come out of them supporting you in that change na, no? All right. Ma'am Ash, can we get one person to give us their answer there? How do we engage supporters in the change?
We have to recognize their effort and let them be here kung gusto nila para ma-feel nila na nakasupport tayo sa kanila.
Right. So all in talaga, no? Parang support lang talaga. Just be that very supportive brother or sister for that person, no? Sige, yeah, you can do that, and motivate them and encourage them to continue doing that. Good, sige. Anybody else from the training room? One more?
Hello. Maybe how can you engage supporters in the change? Maybe I let siguro i-share sa iba yung own understanding niya para mas dumami or mas lumawak yung understanding and maybe mas marami ang mag-engage sa possible changes. Thank you.
Right. Okay, good. Thank you very much. I'm sorry. So what he's saying naman about that is parang you already have somebody who's in it, diba? Who's already sold in your idea. So for this person to talk to the other people, diba? Yung mga hindi change agents. So parang sila may inspire sila, or at least they will get to know bakit this change agent that you have assigned tasks to is up for that change. Kasi di ba, again, they are of positive force na eh. So that positivity, they will share it to other people. You know what? I'm in for the change because of this, because of that. Sila na mismo, you don't have to sell it to anybody else anymore. That person who reports under you, who's the change agent, is already doing it for you. So di ba, parang coming from the same ranks, mas parang hindi naman siguro mas paniniwalaan nila, you know, but they will be able to relate to that person better. So kaya mas mabilis silang makakapag-agree na parang oo nga no, sige, okay, let me try. Okay, so that's the next thing that's gonna happen. Change agents, on the other hand, those who swing between the positive and the negative, kind of like what Ma'am Jingle said, no, they cannot decide whether they are in it or they are against it or they just want to stay where they are at. Okay? They are not strongly opinionated, but influenced by the majority opinion or strong individuals close to them. So ito yung mga tao na I don't know what it is, and if I have a leader like si Ma'am Pearl, no? So si Ma'am Jingle, I would err to what her thinking is. Kasi nga, like strong personality. Like, my personality is kind of like that. No, parang, sige, I'd agree with you. I'd get to sway to what you would think about this. Okay? So sila yung mga taong ganyan, although majority of the population would be under this fence sitter. Hindi sila makapag-decide if they're up for this or they're against it or they want to stay where they are at. Okay? So how do we engage them? So from here, the examples or the answers that we have here is reinforcement, responsibility, and leadership. Now, your turn. Go back to the worksheet and please fill those out. For those people in the training room, please write them down. How do you get to engage fence sitters? What are you going to do in order to engage them so that they would agree with the change and not go against it? To let them finally realize na, oo nga, I want to do the change, not stay where I am at. Okay? Yan.
Sir, question.
Yes.
This kind of scenario, I think we do have.
Mhm.
Those, if we relate it to the pandemic, these are people, I think, who are non-believers of the vaccination.
Mhm. Mhm.
So, sabi mo, and then, ang nakita ko dito, how do you engage? And said, I think we've done this, the reinforcement, we did some orientation, we did some ganun. Responsibility, well, incorporated dun sa forum. Leadership, I'm not sure ano yung, how do I con with the leadership. What I'm driving at is yun nga, maybe may mga iba dito attendees are not nandun sa mga non-vaccinated. So, yun, na-correlate ko dito. So, maybe I will hear from you further kung ano pa more ang kailangan gawin. And I hope yung nandito na nakikinig, we'll see if you can change them. That will be
Yeah. So, yeah, yun naman yun. That's what we are asking for. No? Parang ano yung ideas nila? How do we get to influence?
Yeah.
Not change, di ba? Pero influence. Kasi if we say change,
Influence.
it's kind of like I say, dapat ikaw ganito na yung isip mo, di ba? Parang it's changing talaga. But for me to influence you, I'm gonna have to show you. Parang somebody has your walk the talk. I'm not sure if it was you. Pero parang ganun nga, no? We want to show them and gently ease it in them na yung to get that realization na, nga, no, it's a good idea for us to have that vaccine instead of, being vulnerable.